I would quickly like to brief on the agenda behind this session. So Cuemath has taken up the initiative to provide masterclasses on all the Olympiad topics from grade level 1 to 10th so that all the students could master on the Olympiad topics for different kind of examinations such as IMO and talent search. Along with it also improves the logical and analytical skills of students. So with this, I would quickly like to introduce myself. This is Trishita Majumdar here, and I'm a teacher expert at Cuemath. My teaching experience is 4 years, and I take up subjects mathematics and reasoning, and I teach students from India and US. With this, let's go ahead and check our table of contents for today. So let's look into the table of contents for today. We will be understanding the meaning of coding and decoding, applications in day-to-day life, objectives, problems, and learning outcomes. So let's go ahead and understand what do we mean by coding and decoding. Before I put on the definition and go ahead and define, I want all of you to come up with some kind of example which you have come across in your life, or let's say it could be in terms of definition or description of some scenario, and put it on the comment section so that all of us could interact and understand what do we mean by these terms. So let's see. The process of representing information in a definite standard form and the inverse process of recovering the information is known as coding and decoding. What do we understand from this? Let's take a very simple example. Let's say that you have to tell something to your friend, okay? But then the information which you want to pass on to your friend, you don't want anybody else to recognize it. All right. So what do you decide? You and your friend decides to have some code words. Okay. And then what you do is you try to pass it on to your friend by putting on those code words so that when your friend receives it, he or she understands what exactly am I trying to convey. Right. So this is like the most basic example I could take, wherein the data is sent in a coded format. As in, the coded format could only be retrieved by the receiver. As in, only my friend can understand what is meant by these code words, right? Nobody else in between, even if there are like mediators in between, they would not be able to understand what is being conveyed. So that's like the most basic example. Now with this, I would show you a fun thing, which I'm sure that all of you can relate it to your own life, and you could actually find it very, very relatable to many such situations and scenarios you've come across. Let's go ahead and check. So here goes our fun part. I want all of you to look into this and put your comments on the comment section if you have ever come across any such scenarios in your life. So let's share some secrets. Here goes. Okay, let's see what's given here. X is equal to picnic, Y is equal to water park, Z is equal to movie. Let's play. Now we have 3 different person here. Trishita, that's me, and then we have Neha ma'am, and then we have Isha as well. So here, Trishita, that's me, I'm telling, what should we choose, X, Y or Z? What does Neha ma'am say? What are you talking about? So she basically does not understand what is X, Y or Z, because I have not told her what is meant by X, Y or Z. This X, Y or Z is only known to me and Isha. So anybody who is in between cannot understand what's meant by these letters. Okay. And then Isha says, I would prefer either of Y or Z. And then Neha again says, I don't understand this. Quite relatable, right? I'm sure that all of you must have come across such a situation at some point of your life. It could either be between siblings, wherein, your mom is the mediator and you don't want your mom to get to know what exactly are you trying to convey to your siblings, or it could be with your friends, your cousins. And these are the scenarios which you could think about and understand coding and decoding. All right, let's see this. Then I say that let's choose Y. And what's Y? Y is basically water park. So what are we exactly trying to discuss here? We are trying to discuss which place do we choose out of picnic, water park and movie. Where do we want to go? Right? And we are playing with Neha. So Neha is kind of getting, irritated that she's not able to understand what am I and Isha speaking, right? And then Isha says, yay, I'm excited now. So she understands, she retrieves the information and she understands what did I want to convey to her, right? So then what does Neha say? Oh, come on, please do tell it to me as well. I don't understand. So this is something which could be so relatable to all of our lives. And I'm sure that, we come across this in most of the times in our life wherein people do try to speak something and we do not get to understand. We sit blank in between and we think, okay, what is he or she talking about, right? So all of you can put your comments on the comment section if you all also have some such kind of experiences. So it would be, very fun and interactive. The others also attending the session could get to know different kind of scenarios you've come across. All right. So I hope the example helped you to understand what is exactly meant by coding and decoding. Okay. So we basically had the coded words X, Y, and Z, which had a particular meaning assigned to the letters. Okay. So when I say X equals to picnic, picnic is assigned to X. So X is the coded form of picnic. Y is the coded form of water park. And Z is the coded form of movie. But when it's reaching to the receiver, they are retrieving it. They are retrieving it back. Okay. The decoding part. Now, picnic is the decoded form of X. Water park is the decoded form of Y. And movie is the decoded form of Z. With this, let's go ahead and check with some applications of coding and decoding. The first major application is encryption and decryption. So for everybody who are unaware of these terms, so this is something which is related to cryptography, which we are actually using in lots of places without actually knowing about it. The first and foremost example you could think about is WhatsApp. WhatsApp is being used by all of us. But if you guys have noticed, there is a message which is sometimes popping up on WhatsApp. I'm not sure which place exactly does it shows up, but I've definitely noticed it. You must have come across a message saying your messages are being encrypted. So what does this mean by encryption and decryption? Encryption is something which is basically the coding part. Okay. So there is some data which needs to be sent and it has to be coded because it's a critical information. And then somebody who is receiving it, let's say that I want to convey it to the receiver. The receiver is understanding the codes and retrieving the information. So that's where we call the decoding part in a way, which means decryption. Okay. So this is very important for communication. All the communication system is completely based on encryption and decryption. Lots of technologies are using encryption and decryption. You could say the very basic example is password feature. We have a lot of logins wherein, they ask us to put in the password. So password is something which is a very, very good example of coding and decoding. All right. Coming to the next part, language. So language is something which again conveys coding and decoding. Let's say, I have been to Japan. Most of the times we know that Japanese are not that aware of English. So I try to convey some information. Okay. I try to convey some information to some person and I'm speaking in English and that person is not understanding English. Okay. Whereas there's another person beside him who understands English. So here what's happening, the person who is able to understand English, he or she would be able to understand what am I trying to convey. But the one who does not understand English at all, how would he or she understand the meaning of it, right? So language is again a very, very important example of or application of coding and decoding, you could say. Okay. So the major thing is that the receiver and the sender needs to understand what is meant by that. Okay. Understanding is the major factor here. Coming to programming, yes, lots of programmings use encryptions and decryptions. In fact, encryption and decryption is in fact developed using programming. Okay. So that's the base of coding and decoding. I hope that was clear enough to introduce the topic. So with this, we are going to move ahead with our objectives for today. The objectives are going to be letter coding, the number or symbol coding, and substitution coding. So in letter coding, we are majorly going to have letters or words which are replaced by other letters. It could be in the forward direction or in the backward direction, or it could be a combination as well to basically code it. Okay. Coming to the next one, number or symbol coding. So in numbers or symbols, we basically have the numbers or symbols which are being coded and we are trying to retrieve the meaning of it. That's another way of showing an example of coding and decoding. The third one is substitution coding. Some particular words are assigned to certain names. The one which we just did some time back, X equal to picnic and Y equal to water park and Z is equal to movie. So what was exactly happening? I was substituting these words to some coded letter. So in our case, it was a letter. So we substituted the word picnic and we assigned it to the letter X. Okay. So this is how I define the three objectives. And now I want all of you to be responsive enough to answer the questions. So we are going to have a wide variety of questions. All of you, please keep commenting on the comment section. I will be looking into your comments. And if you have any queries, please do raise it up. We'll be definitely responding to it. All right. So here goes our first question. So before I display the options to this question, I want all of you to try this out and comment on the comment section on the answers that you've got. So once I display it, all of you can map it up. All right. So let's see what's given here. And before I go ahead, I would like to say, for everybody who had attended the session of series completion, I had mentioned a very important thing. Numbering of letters is going to help us a lot in doing questions related to letters and numbers. It actually reduces a lot of work and helps us to reach to the answer in a very simplified manner. So in the upcoming questions, we are going to see the usage of numbering of letters as well. All right. So with this, let's go ahead and try to solve this. So if you see here, will is YLPQ. So let me write down the word will in this way. And if you see, W is mapped to Y. So I can say W is mapped to Y. I is mapped to the second letter, which is L. L is mapped to the third letter, which is P. And from here, I could say L is again mapped to the fourth letter, which is Q. Now, let's check out how do we go from W to Y. Now, you can start counting the letters W, X, Y. Okay. So W, X, Y. So when I have to go from W to Y, I need to add two letters to it. When I add one letter to W, it becomes X. When I add two letters to W, it becomes Y. So I could say that W plus 2 gives us a Y. Now from I to L, let's start counting. I, J, K, L. So can I say that if I add plus 3 to I will be getting a L? Yes. So this is again a plus 3. Coming to L to P. So after L, start counting till P. M, N, O, P. So if you see, we are adding plus 4 to this. And coming to the fourth one, L to Q. Let's count from L to Q again. M, N, O, P, Q. That means I could say that it's a plus 5. So there's a pattern you can notice here, right? The pattern is that it's always incrementing by the consecutive integers. It's always incrementing by 1 at every letter. So now we can try to do the same pattern for road, R-O-A-D. Okay. So let's go ahead with the first one. So with R, what am I going to add? I'm going to add plus 2. After R, what do you have? S, T. So I could say this becomes T. And from O, I could add plus 3 to this. We are going to follow the same pattern that's being followed by will. Okay, that's the intention to give this to you. Okay. Now, with O, we'll have to add plus 3. O, P, Q, R, right? P, Q, R. So I could say plus 3 added to this is nothing but R. Coming to A, we'll have to add plus 4 according to this. B, C, D, E. So this will become E. And with D, I will have to add plus 5. E, F, G, H, I. So as per this, I would be getting my answer as T, R, E, I. Now with this, let me display the options. Let's see. Out of option A, B, C and D, we see that T, R, E, I is present in option B. Hence option B is the right answer to this. I hope everybody understood this. So coding and decoding is again somehow related to patterns. You first try to map the letters and then you try to figure out what's the pattern that's being followed. Again, observation, analyze, and then understand. Okay. I hope this was clear enough. Let's go ahead with our next question. So in a certain language, Ramesh is coded as ZQUTVP and member is coded as UTUWTZ which word would be coded as WTUTVP? Alright. So for this, let me quickly write down all the data that's given to us. Let's start with Ramesh. So I'm going to write the Ramesh word in this way. R-A-M-E-S-H. Okay. And now from here, we know that R is mapped to the first letter of this, which is Z. A is mapped to Q. M is mapped to the third letter, which is U. E is mapped to T. S is mapped to V, and H is with P. V, and this is P. Okay. Similarly, we have been given with another hint. Member is UTUWTZ. So let me also write down for member. So this is MEMBER. This is member. Now let's write the respective letters that's assigned to member. M is U, E is T, M is U again, and then you have B, which is nothing but W, and then you have T, which is nothing but, you have E, which is nothing but T, and then you have R, which is nothing but the last letter Z. Now, if you notice something between these two hints, why have they given us two words? Okay, let's see. If you see here, let's try to find out some common letter here. Look at this, you have M here, which is mapped to U. Here also you have M, which is mapped to U. And you also have M, which is mapped to U. As in, wherever you're going to have the letter M, it would be mapped to U. Okay. Alright. So now I hope you understood. Similarly for R, it is Z. And here also for R, it is Z. And is there anything else? For here, E, it is T and E is T. That means we are going to follow the same mapping for this as well. But we'll have to, this is the mapped version, because they are asking which word would be coded to this. As in, this is the coded version. We have to find the word from here. Okay. Now let's look into our options. Here goes our options. Let's look into this. Okay. So we have W, T, U, and then we have T, V, P. All right. So from here, let's try to map. So W is mapped with what? What is W mapped up with? Let's check. Anybody? Let me just put it down here. Okay. So if you all see, W is mapped up with B. So can I say I would be putting down B here? Yes. Coming to T. What is T mapped up with? T is mapped up with E. Okay. And U is mapped up with M. T is again E. What is V? Let's try to figure out where do we have V from here. We do have V here. V is again coded as S, and P, which is nothing but, do we have P here? Yes, we do have. So P is nothing but H. So as I told, this is the coded version, WTUTVP. That's the reason I've written it with pink color. So all the pink colors are the coded version. We are trying to figuring out the reverse order, as in the actual word. Okay. So from here, I see that I get the actual word as B-E-M-E-S-H. You could say Bemesh. So let's see which option gives us Bemesh. It's option C. I hope all of you are understanding this and enjoying the session. If you do like the session, please do share it with your friends. And please put your comments on the comment section if you have any kind of feedback. And also, I want maximum responses from all of you. With this, let me go ahead with the next question. Here goes our next question. In a certain code language, in ba pe means he has won. Le ki ba means she has lost. In se pe means he always won. Which word in that language means he? How do we do such kind of questions? So before I put on the options, please do give it a try. So take all these hints as into account. These are the hints that's given to us. So this is going to help us. So if you look into the first one, in ba pe. So we need to look for the coded word of he, right? So do we have he in this statement? Yes, we do have he. And do we have he in any other statement? The second one does not have he. The third one again has he. If you notice, both of these statements has he. He always won. He has won. So can I say that I can also try to figure out some common word in these two statements? Because if you have he and he as common in these two statements, there should definitely be some word which is in common in these two statements as well, right? So I can see that out of these two, we have one, and then we have, so pay and pay can be assigned to one. And I could say in and in could be assigned to he and he. So can I say that in is nothing but he? We are not going to take the second statement into account itself because the second statement does not have a he. And what we need from this question is the word that means he. All right. I hope that's clear. So by now, I'm sure that most of you have got your answers. So here goes the options, and therefore we could say option A is the right answer. I hope that was clear enough to all of you. Now with this, let's go ahead with another question which is similar to this, and I want all of you to give a try. So let me just wait for a while to look into all of your comments on the comment section. Until then, let me just take you through the question. If Key Top Joe means who are you? I'm going to underline these. Okay, so I'm going to underline these. Key Top Joe is who are you? Lin Ki Fin means they are honest, and Fin Ti Joe means who is honest. So I have marked all of these hints that's given to us. We need to figure out what do we mean by Lin. Okay, so whenever they are asking you for some such kind of question, try to look at from the hints, where is that word exactly available? If a sentence does not have the word Lin, then do not consider it. Okay, I hope that's clear. So now from here, we are going to look into our statements. Key Top Joe. This does not have Lin at all. Now, if you look into the second one, Lin Ki Fin. Yes, this does have Lin as one of the word. And we see here Fin Ti Joe. Here also we do not have Lin. So how are we going to do this question without having common words? Here, so this is the tricky part here. You need to look for some other hint. So if you do not get the answer in the straight direction, you have to take the help of the other statements to arrive to the answer of this. Okay. Now, let's look into this. So if you see here goes the options. If any of you have got the answer, you all can give your responses on the comment section. Let's see here. Key Top Joe. So Key Top Joe is who are you? And let's look into the English statements now. If you see, this has who are you. This also has who is honest. That means the word who is common in both of these, right? And let's see what is common between these two statements. We see that Joe is common in these two statements. So can I say that Joe is going to be who? Yes, I can say that Joe is going to be who. Because when I did not get any similarity between Lin, I tried to go by the English statement so that I could eliminate the rest of it to figure out what would Lin mean. Okay. So who are you? Who is honest? I see that who is the common word here, and with respect to those statements that's mapped to these, Joe is the common word. So definitely Joe should be meaning who. Okay. Now let's see Lin Ki Fin. They are honest. Now let's see if we are able to figure out any word from here which is common to any other sentences. They are honest. Who is honest? Yes, I can figure out honest word, right? So honest and honest. That means here I have honest. Here also I do have honest. So what's the common word between these two? We have Fin and we also have Fin here. So the common word is honest here and the mapped statements have the common word as Fin here. So definitely Fin is being assigned to honest. I hope that's clear to all of you. I hope you're understanding how I'm going about these kind of questions. Okay. Now we do not know what Lin is. Let's try to do something. Let's try to map they are honest and who are you as well. So out of these two statements, I can see are is the one which is common in these two statements. So out of Lin Ki Fin and Key Top Joe, which is a common word? I see that key is the common word. Key and key. So can I say that key is assigned to R? Because R is the common word in the map statements. So definitely the word which is left out Lin should be going to they. Because we have map for R, we have map for honest, we have also map for who. And you is not being mapped because this is not common to all the three statements. So the only option left is they. Because we have got that key is nothing but R and Fin means honest. So what would Lin be? Lin would be they. Therefore, I could say option A is the right answer. I hope all of you understood the way I went about this question. And if there's anybody who needs some explanation of this, or if there's anybody who just joined the session now and did not understand how did we go about this, please do post your queries on the comment section. We would be getting back to them later on. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on with our next objective, number or symbol coding. So if you see here, if XYZ is written as 6 and RYW is written as 72, then BVZ is written as what? Okay, before I go ahead with the options, let me just try to figure out something. Okay, so if you see here XYZ, how can XYZ be 6? Let's try to figure it out. Okay. Now, for this question, I would like to give you the options as well, if that's going to help you out to understand. Along with that, I'm also going to show you the sequence numbering. The sequence numbering is going to be helpful in a way because if you see here, XYZ is 6. So if you look into the position of X, Y, and Z, 24, 25, 26, we are not very sure that how would you be able to get a 6 from these three numbers, X, Y, Z. Is it possible? Well, not really. Then what could be done? There is something which is being introduced here that's nothing but the reverse counting logic. As in, here in this logic, what I've done is all the numberings were done in the forward order. But now what if I start numbering the letters in the reverse order? What if I assign 1 to Z, 2 to Y and 3 to X? Now can I say that if I multiply all the three letters, that is 3 times 2 times 1, I get a 6. See here, I was able to get a 6. And the thing is, the next question might come up to your mind, how do we figure this out that we have to go by reverse logic? The forward logic is going to help you out because in the forward numbering sequence, if you notice, we have 24, 25 and 26. But out of 24, 25 and 26, it's not possible to get a 6, right? It doesn't look convenient. So what I tried was, it's like a trial and error. I went ahead with the reverse numbering and it worked well. Okay, so but we are still not sure if this is the logic behind the letter numberings. But we are going to verify it with a second one, that's RWY. Okay, so let's try out for RWY. So when we go in the reverse counting order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So R is 9, W is 4 and Y is 2. Sorry. So let's multiply all the three. 9 times 4 times 2. Because 9 is R, 4 is W and Y is 2. Do we get a 72 from here? 9 times 4, 36 times 2 is 72. We do get. That means the reverse numbering logic that we have applied to our letters here is actually working good. I hope that was clear to all of you. So now we have got the pattern and hence we are going to figure out for B, V and Z. So for B, what would it be? So if you go in the reverse order, definitely this is going to be 26. So this is going to be 25, right? And what is V? V is nothing but 5 and Z is 1. So 25 times 5 times 1. And I think I can already get a lot of responses on the comment section already. And this was a pretty interesting question, and this was something different from the previous questions. That is the reverse logic being applied. So this is again a possibility you could have in your questions. Okay. So we have got our answer to be 125, which is nothing but option B, right? I hope that was clear enough. So with this, let's go ahead and move with our next question. I hope all of you are enjoying the session. Let's go ahead. Here goes our next question. If D is equal to 4 and cover is equal to 63, then basis is equal to what? Okay. Now D is equal to 4 signifies what? It means that if we go in the forward counting logic, D is equal to 4. It signifies that to number these letters, you have to go in the forward logic. That's what it means. The D equal to 4 is actually not going to help us in figuring out the answer. It is helping us to figure out the logic that's being used. Because you might have a confusion, right? If cover is equal to 63, is it the forward numbering we are going to go ahead with or the backward numbering, which we just had in the last question? But D is equal to 4 is actually giving us a hint that we are going ahead with the forward counting logic. Okay? So let's go ahead and check out our options. Here is our options A, B, C and D, and here goes our numbering sequence again. So let's see cover. So we know that C, O, V, E, R, and now let's see the numberings of these. C is nothing but 3. So 3. O is nothing but 15. V is, let's see, 22. E is 5. And R is 18, right? Okay, so from here, if you notice 63, how do you get 63 from all of these numbers? One possibility is, let's go ahead and add them up, okay? So when we add all of these, what do we get? All of you, please check addition if it's a satisfying 63 or not. Any answers on the comment section? Let me get some quick responses. Let me just have some water. I'm sorry. All right. So now let's see here. When we add up all of these numbers, we are going to get 63. That means our logic actually worked out. So for basis, how are we going to do? We are going to take the respective numbers and we are going to add them up. BASIS. Okay. Let's look into the numberings. 2 plus A is 1 plus S is nothing but 19 plus I is, where's I? I is 9 and S is nothing but 19 again, right? So when we add them up, how much do we get? This is 19 plus 19, 38, right? 38 plus 2 is 40. 40 plus 9 is 49 plus 150. Okay, this is how I do addition. The numbers that I find simpler, I just go ahead and add them up better. Okay. So from here, we saw that we have got our result as 50. So I hope the question was clear to all of you. And all of you are getting to experience a variety of questions. So do attend the session and ask your friends to attend the sessions as well. We are going to have a lot of such sessions coming up in the future weeks as well. And it's going to happen on every week, Monday to Saturday at 7 p.m. Okay. So I hope you're enjoying it and do give your feedback on the comment section if you have any. Okay. So now with this, let's go ahead and check out our next question. If 54 plus 43 is equal to 2. Okay. 60 plus 51 is equal to 10. Then 62 plus 72 is what? Okay, this is kind of tricky. At the first go, when you look into the addition of numbers, it doesn't help you. Now, let me show you something. 54 plus 43. If you do the actual addition of these two numbers, how much do you get? Any answers? Let's see. Yes, any answers? Let me just wait for some quick prompt responses on the comment section. Yes, I want all of you to be interactive and responsive. Let's see who gives the answer for 54 plus 43. Yes, and it is 97. It is 97, all right? But if you notice, as per the question, it is given to us as 2. But how do we relate this 97 and 2? Any clue? Is there anything which is coming up to your mind? 97 and 2, any answers? Well, there's something which I could observe. And I hope all of you are also observing. When you subtract the two digits 9 and 7, you get a 2, right? So this is one of the logic which could be used for applying on the other two operations as well. But we are not sure about it. So let's go ahead and check. 60 plus 51 is equal to 10. Now, when we do the actual addition, let me just erase this 10 for now and write down the actual addition. So 60 plus 51 is going to give us 111. Okay. Now, as per the previous logic, what did we do? We took these two digits and we subtracted. Now, if I take this number as 11 and this as 1, 11 minus 1 gives us a 10. And yes, it is satisfying. It is giving us a 10, right? I hope all of you are understanding how are we developing logics. Yes. So from here, we have understood that we have to perform the actual calculation of 62 and 72 and we have to subtract the two numbers, right? So now let's do that. 62 plus 72 is going to give us 134. And from here, I could take these two numbers. So 13 minus 4 is going to give us a 9. So let's quickly look into our options. 9 is option C. A big round of applause to all of you who were able to figure out the logic before I told you. And I'm really happy if you've commented on the comment section because it's not easy to go ahead with such kind of questions at the first go. You need a lot of practice to understand these. You need to be aware of the kind of patterns that could come across. You need to be aware of these kind of logics. Like say, for example, if the reverse logic of letters, which we just discussed some time back, if you've never come across it, how would you be able to do it all of a sudden in your exam, right? It's not possible. We all are humans. Things do not strike to our mind all of a sudden. It needs consistency. It needs practice. Only then you would be perfect with it and you would be able to get an idea that this could be a possibility. And every question in coding and decoding is could, and can. It means that I think this could work. And then how do I verify it? I actually look into the second hint, and if I see that the pattern is being followed for the second hint as well, it means that the logic that I have found out is correct. Okay, this is how we go about such questions. Let's go ahead and check out our next objective, that is substitution coding. Let's see here. In a particular language, body means bone, bone means head. Let's start marking them up. Body means bone. So body means bone here, bone means head means knee means elbow, and elbow means feet. Okay. So how is this going to help us? Let's see. On which part of body does a man wear hat? Okay, nice question. Before I take you to this question, I want to mention a very, very important thing. Please do remember this, because there must be, I'm expecting two kind of answers from all of you. The reason is, here we obviously know that we wear hat on head. But do we go with bone, which means head, or do we go with head, which means knee? This is the confusion which lot of people face. Is it head which is knee, or is it bone which is head? So let me quickly give you the options. You do have knee also as your option. You do have bone also as your option. But which one do I choose? For this, let me just give you a prior knowledge to this. Whenever I say A means B, do remember this. This is going to be very, very important for the upcoming questions as well, and for questions like this. Whenever I say that A means B, it means that the meaning of this word B is being assigned to the letter A. If you guys have attended the session right from the beginning, if you remember, I had given an example, X equal to picnic. It means that the actual word is picnic, but it's being assigned to the letter X. Same way, whenever you have two different elements related to the, which means, or if they put an equal to sign, it means that the actual word is this, but it is being coded in the form of A. So which one do we go ahead with? Do we go ahead with bone means head or head means knee? So when I say bone means head, what does this mean? Bone means head. The actual value is head and it is being assigned to the word bone. And that's what we need. We do not need a knee, right? We do not need a knee which is being assigned to head, because knee is not the place where you're wearing your hat. Head is the place where you're wearing your hat, right? So head is being assigned to bone. Therefore, your answer would be bone and not knee. I hope everybody understood the meaning of these two. And I hope the confusion is also clear. We would not be taking head means knee, because head means knee actually doesn't mean head. It means that head is the coded form of knee. The coded form of knee, we need the actual meaning. We do not need the coded word. And we know that the actual head meaning is assigned to the word bone, and hence we go with option D and not with option B. Alright, I hope that's clear to all of you. Now with this, I would quickly be moving ahead with the next question, and I want all of you to try this out. This is something related to symbol coding. So let's see if all of you are able to figure it out. They are very, very simple. We just need to check with the substitutions and we need to just apply it on the actual word that's asked to us. Okay. So let's see here. Grow. So for here, let me just make this kind of a structure. So grow. As you can see, G is assigned to equal to. So this is equal to. R is assigned to at the rate. O is assigned to percentage. And W is assigned to hash. Okay. Let's go with the second one, within. So I'm writing it down here. WITHIN. Before I display the options and people who are already done with it, I want all of you to be posting your comments on the comment section. Okay, so you should always not be dependent upon the options. Options are definitely necessary, but now since you're learning the concepts, I want all of you to go ahead and check it by yourself by developing the logic from here. Okay, so as for within, I could see that W is mapped to hash. Okay, just keep mapping the respective letter positions. First letter is W here, first symbol is hash here. Okay, going ahead with the second one, I is mapped to division here. The third one, T is mapped to plus here, and then the H is mapped to the C symbol here, I is mapped to division here again, and we have N which is mapped to triangle. Okay, now as for these mappings, we are supposed to figure out for wing. Okay, so this is my WING, and here I know that my W is mapped to hash. See here, my W is mapped to hash, so I keep a hash here. Let's check for I. So I is mapped to division. So I have a division symbol here. What is N mapped to? N is mapped to triangle. So I have a triangle here. And what is G mapped to? G is mapped to equal to, right? So now let me display the options, and here goes your options. So the sequence is going to be, let me write down the final sequence. It's going to be hash, division, triangle and equal to. So hash, division, triangle and equal to is nothing but option B. Pretty simple, right? They are simple substitutions. You don't even have to think on the logic. It's just that frame the letters, map them and then apply it on your actual word asked. Okay? Alright. Now let me give you a practice question to all of you. I want all of you to check this out. We have done a similar question earlier. So let's see who is going to give the right answer to this. We just did a similar question to this sometime back, the hat question, right? So, let me also display the options. So, you can also go ahead with the options and give me the right one. If comb is called pen, if pen is called spoon, if spoon is called car, if car is called ship, and the ship is called mobile, and mobile is called laptop, then what is used to eat food? Any responses? Let's check on the comment section. Let me just take a gap of a few seconds to quickly verify all of your answers. Alright, so now let's see here. The main question what's being asked here, what is being used to eat food? We know that out of comb, pen, spoon, car, ship and mobile and laptop, we definitely use only spoon to have our food. But now the question is, do we go with pen is called spoon or do we go with spoon is called car? We have two kinds of options. It could either be a pen or it could either be a car. But as I told you some time back, the word is always going in the backward order. The spoon is being assigned to the word pen, which means that the actual value is the spoon and it is being coded as pen. Not if you use this spoon is called car, it's the other way around. It means that you're telling car is what you're using to have food, which is incorrect. Okay. Yes. So what is it? So you are going to use pen here, and hence option D is the right answer. Okay. I hope this was clear to all of you. If you have any queries, please do post it on the comment section. So with this, I would quickly like to go ahead with our advanced question. Before going ahead with the advanced question, let me again tell you about the Math Olympiad exam which is being launched by Cuemath, which is going to happen in the month of December and Jan. The name of the exam is the Ultimate Cuemath Olympiad, which is TUCO. Okay. So the TUCO registration link is given in the description box and the registration amount is just 200 rupees. And when you register for this, along with it, you get the complete curriculum from Cuemath's end, which you can go ahead and use the worksheets for your practice purpose. And to go ahead and work on the worksheets, you have to download the Cuemath app from the Play Store. Okay. The links would be shared on the description box as well as the comments. Please keep checking the comments. If any of you are interested, please go ahead and register today. Now let's go ahead and move ahead with our advanced level questions. Advanced level questions are something which is slightly different and of a slightly higher level when compared to the basic level questions. Okay. So with this, let's go ahead with the first one. I don't think the first one is going to be that difficult, and I'm sure that if you've understood the logic of coding and decoding, the three major objectives which we just covered, this is going to be very simple. Let's see here. In a code language, make is written as this shapes, okay, race is written as this. Then the same code language, how will KARM, karm, be written as, okay? The same thing, we were doing substitution. So this is something related to letters and letters being substituted by symbols. Let me write it down here, M, A, K, E. So for M, we know that it is a triangle. For A, we know that it's a circle. For K, we know that it's a multiplication, or you could say X. And for E, we could say that it's a square. Okay. And let's figure out for race as well, RACE. So I have not displayed the options yet. Anybody who is able to figure out the answer, you could respond on the comment section by looking into the options. It's not possible for you to, go ahead and, put it on the comment section, draw the shape. So you'll have to type down all the shape names. So you could go ahead with the options and give your respective options on the comment section. Now let's map up these. So for this, we have R is mapped to the first one, which is nothing but a pentagon. The second one, A is mapped to a circle, C is mapped to a star, and E is mapped to a square. Okay? We have to figure it out for the word KARM. So let's just see for K, what is it? So we know that for K, it's going to be X, right? For A, what is it going to be? A is basically circle in both the cases. And then for R, what are we going to have? For R, we have a pentagon. And then for M, what are we going to have? For M, we have a triangle. Okay. So I hope this is clear to all of you. So the sequence is X, circle, pentagon, and a triangle. So let's see out of the given four options, which one is satisfying this? X, circle, pentagon, triangle, which is option C. I'm sure that all of you must have already done this before I explained it, because this is pretty similar to what we just did. That is the substitution objective question. But now we are going to go ahead with some different category of question, which is going to involve some data and conditions. Okay. So all of you stay tuned. Do not leave the session. Here goes our next question. Alright. So here is our question. The following numbers are coded as follows. They have given the codings, that is the numbers with the codes. And as per the conditions, let's see. If the first digit as well as the last digit is odd, then both are to be coded as X. Okay, and we have the three conditions. All of you can go through it. And then we are finally supposed to find the coded version of 471256. Let's see how are we going to do this. Okay, so as you all can see, basically here if you notice, they have given something about the first digit and last digit in both the condition. Let's figure out what's our first digit. It's 4 and the last digit is 6, right? So again, let me write it down here as well. 471256. If you notice, the first and the last digit, 4 and 6, are both even numbers. So which condition am I going to use for this? Which condition is relevant to the situation? Definitely the second one, because the second one implies the first digit and the last digit is even. Then both of these are coded as the symbol this euro. Okay, so I could say this, right? So we have got the coding for the first and the last letter. Okay, now please try out for the rest of them. Now we are going to go ahead with the rest of the codings, which says, okay, let's just quickly look into the third condition. If the last digit is 0, we don't need to go with this. Okay, so as per these codings, we are going to refer the table given. So for 7, it is nothing but B. For 1, it is going to be a dot. Sorry, it's not a dot. It's basically a star. And then for 2, you have a hash. And then for 5, you have, let's see, where's 5? 5, you have M. So this is what the sequence is. Let's see if we have it in our options. Yes, we do have it, which is nothing but option D, right? So here was our option D, which is the correct answer. Pretty interesting and easy, right? The question looks complicated, but it's just that you need to be patient enough to observe what's the number given to you, and according to the condition, you need to map up which condition best applies to the question. Okay. Now, I'm going to give a similar practice question to all of you, and I want all of you to go ahead and try to figure it out. And the last question is not going to have options because I want all of you to give the answers on the comment section. Okay, let's go ahead and check out. Here goes our last question for the day. The following numbers are coded as follows, and here is the conditions given to us. We have two conditions, and here is the sequence of letters. So let's just check out the sequence. We have 5, 2, 4, 6, 5, 7, 3, 8. And according to this, let's look into our conditions. If the first digit of the number is odd, then it will be coded as @. The first digit is odd? Yes, it is. We have got the first condition applied. So this will become @. Coming to the second one, if the last digit of the number is even, then it will be coded as C. Yes, we do have this also. That's it. Now we are going to map up the rest of the numbers using the table. So with respect to 2, the code is hash. With respect to 4, we have it as T. With 6, we have U. For 5, we do have M. And for 7, we have B. And for 3, we are going to have @ again. Okay. So this is our coded word. I hope the question was clear to all of you. So I hope all of you did enjoy the session. Now we are quickly going to wind up the session with our learning outcomes. Let's proceed. So what did we learn in today's session? We learned to compare numbers or letters with the given code and applying the same logic to solve a problem, which we did in our initial 2 objectives. Substituting the given letters according to the question and arriving at the solution. This was our 3rd objective. And different possible ways to code and decode a problem. And now, a very important note which I had already previously mentioned to all of you, that is, if in a question you are given A means B, it implies that A is the name given to B in the coded form. The meaning of B is assigned to A. So this is also equivalent to B, which is called E. Okay, this is a very important point because we also saw some questions in the substitution wherein, you had questions like these wherein there might be a tendency for students to get confused. So please do not get confused. And if you did have any queries or any doubts, please do post it on the comment section. And everybody who joined the session late, you could see the recording which is available on the Facebook page as well as our YouTube channel. So the recording is available. Please do share it with your friends if you did like the recording. And with this, we are going to wind up our session. Yes. So as I had already mentioned earlier that the TUCO registration link is already there in the description box. All of you can go ahead and register because you're going to have a real-time experience of what Olympiad examination means. Okay. And apart from that, you're also going to get a curriculum provided by Cuemath, which is worth 5,000 rupees just for 200 rupees. Alright, so I hope all of you enjoyed the session. Do